Hello, bookish friends of the internet. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Drew, and this is Drew's Ambitious Reading. For today's video, I am very excited to come to you guys and talk about my April wrap-up. So, it's that time of month. It's time to do my monthly wrap-up. And this month, I got some controversial things to discuss about and to say. So I hope you like this video overall. If you do, please give me a big thumb up. Hit that subscribe button and turn your notification on so you don't miss any new video coming from me soon. And without further ado, let's jump into my April wrap-up. So I'm still, I don't know why it's taking me like almost all month of April and May to read this big guy. But I started Chain of Thorns in the month of April. Yes, I started Chain of Thorns in April, and I'm really enjoying it. It's just a bit slow for me. I'm literally on page 200 right now. I'm 200 pages into it, and it's slow. When does this pick up? Hopefully, I'll love it towards the end, but I've been having a lot of fun annotating this book. As you will see throughout the rest of the videos, I've annotated almost every single book I read in April, so I cannot wait to see how this ends. Very nervous for it, but also very excited for it. And then this one I'm actually hoping to finish by tomorrow night, and that is The Witch and the Vampire by Francesca Flores. I put this on my April TBR as well, and also on my May TBR, so those will be up above or down below. I'm 190 pages into this, and it's so good and so hard to put down. Anytime I go on walks with my dogs, I always listen to this audiobook while walking, and it's just so amazing. I cannot wait to see how this ends, and I cannot wait to meet Francesca Flores. Don't forget, we have an author interview with her tomorrow night, 5 p.m. PST, and we are giving away 2 copies of this book, and I'm so excited. Okay, let's jump into my stats now that we got my currently reading out of the way. So for April, I've only managed to read 7 books. These are the 7 books I managed to read, and let's discuss about them. So my monthly stats are 0 1 star, 0 2 stars, 2 3 stars, 4 4 stars, and 2 5-star reads. 3 of these were arcs from NetGalley that I had. 6 of these I've listened to as audiobooks. 0 book of, or 0's buddy read, 0 book of the month, 0 completed series, 0 graphic novels. 2 of these were library books, so I don't own them anymore, but Editing Me will try and put pictures in now that we know how to do that. 2 of these I physically read. 2 of these were 2023 new releases, and 0 Owl Crate books, and 2 of these were on my April TBR list. So very excited for that. My total page count for this month is 2,553 pages. My biggest book of the month I was really shocked at was Almost There by Farhad Rokin. This is the newest book in the Twisted Tales series. This is book number like 13, I think, or 14. I lost track of how many there are. This is my biggest book, coming in at page 456 pages, so that's really surprising to me. My smallest book I don't have, but again, Editing Me will put pictures in. My smallest book of the month is The Last Violent Call by Chloe Gong. This is coming in at 240 pages. And I really enjoyed this one. I'll talk more about this in a minute. And my favorite book is a tie between Almost There by Farhad Rokin or All of Us Villains by Amanda Foody. I really enjoyed both of these reads. They're both very dark in their own ways, and this one, if you love the Hunger Games, I definitely say read this. I recommend vice versa. This, if you love The Princess and the Frog, definitely read this because that's what the retelling is about. But yeah, I would say these 2 books are probably tied for my favorite reads. I don't have... Oh, my least favorite read, I do have. My least favorite read, and you guys will be shocked because I hyped this up too much for myself, has also been hyped up too much for me personally on Bookstagram, and that is, need I say more? I did really enjoy annotating this book. It was very fun. So that has a lot of joy and memory from it. Again, I'll talk more about this once I get to it in my wrap up. But yeah, let's just jump into my wrap up now that we got the monthly stats out of the way. So the first book I read in the month of April took me a while to read despite it being only like 300 pages, but that was The Feeling of Falling in Love by Mason Deaver. This is the third novel by Mason Deaver, but this was my second one I've read by them. And I absolutely enjoyed this one. This was a solid 4 out of 5 stars. I didn't give it a 5 stars because there was a few things that the parents of this novel have said, and there's a few things that kind of ticked me off about it and how they went about like discussing these topics. If you don't know what The Feeling of Falling in Love is about, this follows our main character named Wyatt Flowers. Yes, literally Wyatt Flowers. And also Josh, or it follows Neil and Josh, who were boyfriends at the time of at the beginning of this book, but then they broke up and they move on from each other. It's not a spoiler, it's literally on the summary. I really enjoyed it. All these pink tabs are favorite quotes I have throughout the book. I loved all the pop culture references we had in here. There was a few like nods to like Carly Rae Jepsen and One Direction and even Billie Eilish and also Olivia Rodrigo, which is pretty funny because I was like, Olivia Rodrigo's debut album would be perfect for this book. I got this as a Rainbow Crate book last year in the summertime, and I was really happy about that because this was on my Amazon wish list, and so obviously I took it off my wish list because I already owned a copy. This was really good for what it was. I don't think I don't think it was as amazing as I Wish You All the Best, but I still definitely want to check out Mason's books. I know I have The Ghost We Keep by him on my shelf, and I know there's another one called OK Cupid. That one's coming out next year in February. So I'm looking forward to reading more from Mason Deaver, and I hope that I enjoyed his other books. I hear The Ghost We Keep can make you cry, so I'm not in the mood for a crying book right now. But overall, I really enjoyed this. This was a fun traveling summertime read, and I think this is perfect if you are traveling yourself. It will keep you entertained from the first page to the last. And I just overall really enjoyed the characters, the writing. I don't really have anything bad to say about this. Next book that I read was All of Us Villains by Amanda Foody and Christine Lynn Herman. This is the first book in a brand new duology by this author duo. If, like I said earlier, if you love The Hunger Games, I think you will really love this. This is a bit darker and a bit more mature than The Hunger Games, I would say. There's found family in here and enemies to lovers as well, which I really loved. I really enjoyed that aspect. I also loved how short the chapters were, and even though we did had a lot of characters to follow along with, it was a little confusing in the beginning just because we're getting used to all these character names. But once you got like halfway through the book, you're like, oh, I know this character, I know that character. And there's twists in this book that I did not see coming, and oh my gosh, it was so good. I give this one 5 stars. It's a new favorite of mine, and I was supposed to buddy read this with my friend Sydney, but she's not in a fantasy mood right now, so sorry Sydney for reading this without you, but I really enjoyed it, and I cannot wait to read book 2. I'm hoping to read book 2 in May. We'll see if that actually happens, because one of these books got me in a reading slump, so we love that. The next book I read was Almost There by Farhad Rokin. I've already talked about this book, so I won't be talking too much about it, but this one says, what if Tiana made a deal that changed everything? The one thing I did enjoy about this book was how dark and gruesome that is. It's not like gruesome as bloody, but it was like some of the things they did, like they kidnapped a whole family in here, which is creepy but weird. I don't know what I'm saying. This, I would say this has my new favorite villain in here. Oh, what's the villain name? Oh no, I forgot the name. Not Naveen. Ooh. Oh, Faciliator. 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 I forgot how they say it in the audiobook. He was a great villain to read about. That really entertained me from the first page we met him to the last page. I was really happy of how this story wrapped up. It wrapped up nice and neat in the tight little bow. Overall, I would say this is on my favorite list of the year just because of how much fun I had reading this book. It did take me like 3 to 4 days to read it just because it is almost 500 pages. But overall, I really enjoyed this, and I cannot wait to read more from Farhad Rotkin, and hopefully I enjoy the rest of her works later on in life, and hopefully she writes more in the Twisted Tale universe, because I overall really enjoyed this one. 5 out of 5 stars. Loved it so much. I can't wait to talk about this series more in the future. I can't help you with that on Mac. Not you. Sorry. The next book I read was Cool, Awkward, Black. This is a short story anthology collection that I read from the library. It was also an e-arc I had from NetGalley, so I was able to get another arc off my NetGalley list. This one was enjoyable. There was some short stories in here that I thought could have been longer, especially the one that Tracy Dion wrote. I literally wrote in my review, I was like, that story needed to be longer. Overall, I would give this one a 3 out of 5 stars. It wasn't a favorite read of mine, just because there was some short stories that I didn't enjoy, and there was some that I did enjoy. If you love a good sci-fi fantasy with a mix of contemporary, I would say definitely check out this short story collection. And also, it's just perfect to read because it's very diverse, very queer, and I love that for us. The next book I don't have either because it's a library book, and that is The Last Violent Call by Chloe Gong. This was the only Chloe Gong book I have not read yet, and I was shocked by that because Chloe Gong is a new auto-buy author for me. I'm definitely wanting to get Last Violent Call as part of my collection because I really enjoyed it. I give it a 4 out of 5 stars. They are short story as well. One is about Romeo and Juliet, and then the other one was about Marshall and Benedict, right? I'm a fake fan. But they were just fun short story reads, and I can't wait for Foul Heart Huntsman, because the way that this short story bound up collection thingy, I don't know what you want to call it, but the way that this wrapped up some of the story that we find out from Foul Lady Fortune and Foul Heart Huntsman, which is not out yet, but I'm hoping we find more about these characters in Foul Heart Huntsman, which will be the final book in the Chloe Gong universe. And I'm so sad because I really did enjoy each and every one of these books, and hopefully she writes more, and I cannot wait to meet Chloe Gong one day, and she's just amazing. I give this a solid 4 out of 5 stars. And then the next book, y'all might hate me for this, so I'm so sorry, but the next book I have is The Songs of Achilles by Madeline Miller. This is a adult fantasy standalone novel that I really think was overhyped. I'm sorry, Clint, if you're watching this. I know I'm breaking your heart right now. Like, I can hear your heart breaking. Even though I did have a really fun time annotating it, I overall was told I was going to cry throughout the last half of the book, and not a single tear has dropped. You know? You know? But I hear I'm not the only one. I know my friend Kaylani over at Kaylani Simply Me, my gosh. She read this and she didn't cry either, and she also gave it a 3-star read, so we have very similar reading taste. But overall, it was easy read, but it was also overhyped with the fact that it was a lot of building up to the war, if you know what I mean. There was a lot of politics involved, which I wasn't a huge fan of. I did love the romance that we had in here. The romance was so freaking cute. I was rooting for these couples throughout the whole book. But overall, I would say I wasn't a huge fan of this. I don't know if I want to unhaul this or not, but that's kind of the mood I'm in right now, is to unhaul this book, because if it's a 3-star or less, I usually don't keep my books. But I did annotate this, so it was very fun. It was quick, easy read, but it's definitely one I would say be in the right headspace for, if that makes sense. But yeah, if you don't know what the Song of Achilles is about, we follow our main character named Peleus, right? Peleus. And they get kicked out of the kingdom, and they have to go to the kingdom where Achilles is, and they kindle their romance relationship. I don't know if that's a spoiler, but they get into some trouble along the way as well. We meet some amazing characters, and I don't know, I was expecting a lot more, I guess. And I was expecting more battle scenes than politics scenes. But yeah, overall, gave it 3 stars. It was kind of forgettable, and very overhyped, and I'm so sorry, but yeah, controversial today. The final book I read in April, I actually met this author recently this past weekend, and that is Sarat Chada, and that is City of the Plague God. I really enjoyed this. I enjoyed this so much that I'm literally giving this to my mom tonight. That way she can start reading it. We got to hear a sample of book 2, which I felt bad because my mom didn't read book 1 yet, but she heard the first chapter of book 2, and she thought it was really fun and a funny read as well. So she was asking if she can borrow this one from me, and I was like, yes, yes, yes. That way we have something to talk about. I am very excited to see what my mom would think about this, but I would say if you do not want to read a pandemic book, don't read this one. But I would say still check it out. It was very fun. Lots of trigger warnings in here. I would say death of a family member, and grief, and a little bit of racism. Not a whole lot of racism, but like, not homophobia, but I don't know the right word I'm looking for, but it was just an overall fun middle grade read. Perfect when I needed to get out of my reading slump. Achilles. I literally did not know what to read next, but I remember the book festival was happening this past weekend, which you guys should see a vlog about that after this video, so that will be up after this video. But I really enjoyed it, and I was able to get my copy of this book signed by him, and it said, "Dear Drew, it was so nice meeting you," and he signed it, so I'm very happy to have this. And I cannot believe he is sending me 3 copies. That's right, 3 copies of Fury of the Dragon Goddess. Whatever book 2 is called. But yeah, I really overall enjoyed this. This is a fun book set in New York during the pandemic, in a sandwich shop full of cats as spirit animals, and riding on Pegasus, I guess. So it's fun, easy read. I can't wait for book 2, and hopefully I'll love book 2 as much as I love this one. So there you have it. That is my April wrap up plus my 2 current reads. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button, turn your notification on so you don't miss any new videos coming from me soon. And I'll talk to you guys down in the comments below. If you read any of these books, let me know what you thought of them down below. And I'll just chat with you guys down in the comments. Bye.